A lot to play out tonight, but right now it's time to head to Wellington, the Westpac Stadium, for an historic clash between StKilda and Sydney. The first time ever premiership points have been played away from Australian shores. We head now for the last post and the national anthems.
The Guard is with us in honour of the Anzacs on Anzac Day, and all those who followed them in the service of New Zealand and Australia. The Australian Football League invites you to join in honouring the memory of New Zealand and Australia's servicemen and women who gave their lives for their nations. Our thoughts too are with those currently on active service. Would you please stand for the Anzac observance? We welcome today Warrant Officer Dave Lark, Royal New Zealand Air Force, and the President of the Royal New Zealand Returned and Services Association, Lieutenant General Don McIver, CMG, OBE.
E kore rātou, e kore hekete. Pēnei e tātou, kua māhui nei. E kore hoki rātou, e kore haa. E kore hoki rātou, e noi kore. Aha kōpē hea, e nā hori kore, o te wā. E te hekena atu, o te rā. Tai noa, ki te āranga mai, e te ata. Ka mōmahara tonu tātou kia rātou. Ka mōmahara tonu tātou kia rātou.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Lest we forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the Australian and New Zealand national anthems, to be performed by Samantha Jade and Stan Walker.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts, a beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strings and let us sing, advance
hear our voices we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star from the shafts of strife and war. Make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
The perfect occasion for a new adventure for our great game. Anzac Day, game number 2, and we are away on international soil, Sydney and St Kilda, with the honour here in Wellington. And the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. Jared Healy and Danny Frawley, it's great to be here. A terrific atmosphere, a great 24 hours in the leader.
Yeah, it's been big around the town, Nahato. So much expectation. The crowd's been pretty healthy, a lot of turnout. Important for the game, but really important for St Kilda. They have got to kick-start their season.
Jack Stephen tried to do that, and that could be high. No, it's a throw in. It was already over the line. Well, the ball very much up for grabs. And the crowd hasn't really seen too much of our game yet. Open up now, an opportunity. Good, and you can hear the crowd start to get involved. And this is how the Swans like to play their footy. They don't quite like it like that, though. Fisher.
It's very interesting how Sydney have set up their forward line. They've gone very, very tall. They've got Pike, they've got Reid, they've thrown Ryan O'Keefe, if you've seen down there. They've got Andreas Everett, so very tall for the conditions.
Well, that's obviously testing St Kilda's height in defence, and Murdoch gets his opportunity here with his first kick in AFL footy, and he's got plenty on it too. Oh, it's
great long kick.
Cozzy.
Well, that was a magnificent long kick, and that's what we need from Big Cozzy, Jared. You talked about it. He just needs to create some goals. The best way to create them is take big, strong pack marks.
He's fighting for his future right now, Spud. He wouldn't have believed at some stage 10 years ago when he started in the game, if you had said you'll be fighting for your career, your life will be on the line as a player in Wellington, New Zealand.
Yeah,
but that's the facts.
Great opportunity on the world stage.
Well, there'd be plenty going through his head right now. He knows he has to kick it, and he got the thought processes right. It's a goal. And the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. It's all pretty much been played at St Kilda's end at the moment, Jared.
Yeah, they've been most impressive, just winning every ball, every contested ball they're winning, and that was the formula for Scott Waters. It's something they've been really pouring, and the pressure is getting to the Swans right now, and it ends up in errant kicks from defence, just blind shots out of the dangerous area, and it comes up with a pretty fair shot, a shot that he should get, young Seb Ross.
Yeah, he is going for his first goal in AFL footy, just his third game. One last year, one this year. And a very gettable goal, and it's through. And the Saints with a dream start in Wellington. Swans. In some ways, they've only played one really good quarter this year, Sydney. So there'll be some concerns. Kennedy attracted a crowd and some good tackling from Hayes. Armitage couldn't quite get it out of there. Now an opportunity from Kieran Jack to half forward, but Gilbert and Robertson quick to shut that down.
Well, they set up the extra in defence, and Robertson was onto it. And they are just looking so much sharper than Sydney at the present time, Spud.
Well, they're winning all the contested ball, Jared, 11-6. They're winning the tackles 9-4. So all the key indicators, they're winning the clearances, and of course the inside 50s 5-0. Saints favour.
All the concerns for John Longmire and the Swans yet to have an inside 50. But what's going on here? There's a free kick going to the Swans. I reckon it might have been an interchange.
I think it was.
I reckon Cozzy went off. I reckon he was already off. I'm just guessing. It's a fairly short 50, just quietly. So it'll be Kennedy with a real bonus that St Kilda didn't need, but Sydney would certainly welcome at this stage. It was well quelled last week, Josh Kennedy, but he's coming in. We know what a player he is, and like just about all those Swans midfielders, he's a goal-kicking midfielder.
And that's been their great strength this year. It is the midfield kicking goals, and there is the issue.
I don't think Cozzy ever came off. properly through, maybe. That's...
He was competing with the mark and then walked off. You're right, Hutto, that's where it was.
So, really good indicators for St Kilda fans, but it's only early days. I'd love to have more on the scoreboard.
Drag the ball in there.
Bolton gives it to Reed, got to run up. That's when he does his best work. Couldn't mark that time though. McLean just willed himself. Here's Teddy Richards, a rare venture forward. He's liking the shape of that. Ted's excellent adventure into the forward line.
And the goal comes from a half-back player. And watch the numbers evolve, Spud, about why the tall forwards aren't kicking goals for Sydney. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe because it's almost impossible to take marks in those sorts of conditions. And, well, Reed is jumping and he's bringing the ball to the ground, but that's where the space is. It's actually now 45 metres away from goal. It was a good rebound goal by Ted Richards and a good give.
Sydney in front for the first time. There's a bit of a Sydney chant going up around Westpac Stadium.
Cozzy back into the ruck.
Del Santo caught one very high from Parker. Kaczynski decided to go with the 55-metre bomb. And it goes to Revolt and creates a goal. How's that for a quick response? Shuffled around poor Marty Mann. Goes to ground as he kicked it to half forward. Tough night for the big blokes. Here again, Pike. Stubbed it into the 50. Goods. The traffic went past and allowed him some clear space. Jack and now McVeigh. Has he got enough leverage? Oh, has he got enough leverage? What an outstanding player he is. What do you think?
Good pressure from the Saints forward, though. Force that high ball into the corridor.
Here's Jones. Fan it very wide. Montagna. A waiting game.
Saad leading up. Now he's got to get back.
Well, it wasn't a bad kick for Revolt.
Kick.
Yeah, it was terrific.
It was a magnificent kick. Nick Malcheski was spectating the ball for a while, and then he turned around to see where Revolt was, and it was too late.
Well, he was circled by about 4 players, wasn't he? But he just found the right avenue.
Well, it was just a beautiful weighted kick from Montagna. Just kicked the ball to space. It was a really good kick over the top of Nick Malcheski and had him searching for the ball and for Nick Revolt.
It's unlike Sydney to leave a hole like that and not cover it.
Look at those numbers, Spud.
Started extremely well. A lot of them are up the ground, but his work rate has been incredible here tonight.
He'll be that far in front in their best and fairest right now. He's aiming up for, what would it be, his 5th?
Yep.
And he's aiming up for goal. And they're back in front, St Kilda.
And they would love Reece Shaw at the moment, wouldn't they, Sydney, with that running half-back position?
Well, they need something from Ryan O'Keefe, who has just touched the ball on one occasion.
And make that 2 as he kicks the half forward. Parker, aggressive, hard running, and look at this. Jack's out the back. Out the back, Jack. Oh, he plays on and makes sure of it. Sydney back in front. It's a tight contest. Beats both ruckmen. Bolton made the play. Bird was looking for a free. Goods is looking for the footy. Oh, Gilbert, so dangerous and costly.
Well, Armstrong owes his teammate one there. He sat off the ball. He went too close to the pack, and it was going to be a goal.
Mumford tried to single-handedly drag them out of there. Even Hanbury's teammates are hurting him at the moment.
It's a great clearance punch from Kennedy.
Yeah. Good collect too from Jack Stephen. He just couldn't quite release it how he planned, but he'll go again. And again, the conditions overwhelm him. Gilbert, Montagna.
Open goal square.
Sliding to the 50. Crunch! It's through.
And it's a sort of game, Spud, where it goes on and on and on like this, and you think, oh, well, at some stage Sydney are going to turn on the juice. And if they don't turn it on and St Kilda get a goal here and a goal there, upsets can happen.
And they'll start to believe too, won't they? Kennedy to half forward. Parker.
He's going clean.
Oh, he missed McLean. He missed him by a fair bit. Fisher. And Montagna, well, he decides not to try and jump all over the Giants. Jones.
Oh, look at this for hands.
Kennedy.
Good control from Kennedy.
McVeigh and Armstrong in reserve. Bird.
Good follow-up from Kennedy.
He's working hard, isn't he?
And Fisher missed the ball. Parker. Bolton. He's not likely to miss. Not from there.
So it's going to come down to just taking your opportunities.
Well, Bolton dished it and Jack wasn't looking. Fair bit of intent shown by Del Santo, but came out Parker's way. Now Reid got to relish some rare space and he delivered.
Well, it was a perfect kick.
I like the forward line set up a lot better here for Sydney. It looks as if it's not going to be focused on long bombs. It's going to be focused on free-flowing footy, one-on-ones. You've got Goods down there. And Reid was certainly outside the forward 50.
So Adam Goods, 2 goals, 2 last week, 6-4 for the season coming in tonight. And you can add another to that. The Swans lead by 17 now, Spat.
Perfect start for the Swans. I like the read up the ground. Sammy Gilbert just laid off a little bit in that passage of play to allow Sam Reid to get into the play. You can see Reid here. And there's Sammy Gilbert laying off. He should have had more pressure, one-on-one all over the ground. It opened up for Adam Goods for a beautiful lead, but that's a good forward connection there between Reid and Goods.
Well, a bit of an experience in the defence. I think Sydney will be hoping to get the one-on-ones rather than pack versus pack.
Fisher and Goods. Quite a match-up, that one. Saints need to make every post a winner now as the margin sneaks out to 17 here in Wellington.
Reece Stanley on Ryan O'Keefe. They've just changed the dynamic of their forward line here, Sydney.
Kennedy, McGlynn, McVeigh. No player really had full control, but they kept it in Sydney hands all the way. Stanley, some nervous moments as the ball was wobbling around on the ground. Reid, McVeigh. Oh, Malcheski. And it's going to create a goal.
How good was that mark in mid-air? He's pirouetted in the air, McGlynn.
Malcheski just flicking the ball with his foot. And McGlynn has just done a pirouette.
Malcheski had the magic touch in the grand final. Of course, Ben McGlynn, as we mentioned, had to sit and watch it all on that last day in September. Already 1 goal tonight. This for a double, and Sydney suddenly taking command in Wellington. They lead by 23 points. Del Santo eased the kick into the 50, but again, it's all adding up to nothing for St Kilda. Goods, Hanbury charging across. Oh, Goods didn't keep going, so tackling to go back to.
Forward 50 tackles often turn into goals.
It was well done from Ben McAvoy there.
They're not happy, the Swans. Look at them. Not happy with each other.
Well, it was odd play from Adam Goods, it seemed, from here. He gave the handball to Hanbury and then just stopped.
It was amazing where Adam Goods ran, though. That was the thing. He had to run wide to give an option, but he actually ran into the traffic, so the handball was never on.
Trent Dennis-Lane just played 3 games tonight for St Kilda. After 19 with the Sydney Swans. That's his biggest kick so far, I reckon, for the Saints. He's up to it, and maybe they are as well.
Yep.
It was Nick Revolt kicking in from full back. He wouldn't have done that too many times, you wouldn't have thought in his career.
Well, it's a win for Sydney, isn't it, with Rewalt inside there, forward 50.
I reckon the coach has just shut up shop. He's happy with this. He's happy to go in. I know they're 19 points down. He doesn't want to blow it out.
No, he won't be happy with that, Jared.
No, not at all.
Parker kicks the goal.
It's just interesting with the Swans how they're guarding the space in the defence, but they're opening up the corridor for St Kilda at the moment.
Malcheski powers the kick up to half forward, away from O'Keefe. Gilbert again.
Great tackle.
He wasn't going to let go. Ben McGlynn. Reid shapes the kick for Goods. Parker waiting down. Goods, was he held? Parker, he's having a night out. Luke Parker can do no wrong. Montagna to half forward. Revolt.
Beautiful use of the body there.
No height ahead at all. So he's picked that apart well. Centred it for Geary, who gives it plenty. He's given them some dash off half-back, and now he's given them a goal. Right, and the Saints know they need urgency.
That's great defence from right as well.
And smother on Dennis Lane from McVeigh. Chance for redemption with the second kick. No height there. In fact, no one there at all to take a mark.
Danger.
Got numbers here, the Saints.
Jack Stephen working the angles out in his head, and he got it just right. But it's kick to kick here.
Going to try and switch the ball if they can, StKilda.
A different approach maybe. It's got an element of risk, but it's proved to be effective. Murdoch feeding it Dempster. Again, it's in the square. Stanley. Lenny Hayes. Montagna knows the importance of this kick, and he's able to deliver. Saints still alive. 2:43 on the clock. Stanley. Hanbury McAvoy battled on gamely after a slow start. Oh, Del Santo upended. And still down. Still no free kick.
Well, that's a win for the Swans. Just taking the juice out of the clock. He's really lifted this last quarter, Nick Del Santo. We wanted to lift, and he's been able to do that with 7 disposals this quarter. So Stanley was there as well, and McAvoy. So which one was the ruckman? That's the... But if McAvoy did impede his run, it's definitely a free kick.
Well, StKilda obviously have to hope now for him to miss, and they'll get possession of the ball, the Swans.
Well, if he misses, no harm done. Yep. They get possession, it's probably a better result.
But it's relying on a big miss, isn't it?
Pretty quick from here, though.
It's normally a reliable kick.
He's only 25 out. He's been a wonderful contributor for the Swans. And that is right through. And the Sydney Swans lead by 16 now.
That's the last thing StKilda needed, was to give a free kick away in that area, and Sydney dominated the last 4 or 5 minutes to build the pressure. Let's have a look. There's McAvoy.
Oh, it's gone against Stanley.
Oh, it's against Stanley.
For blocking the nominated ruckman.
Yeah, well, McAvoy's the ruckman. No, it's there. The free kick's there. Yep. He's impeded his run.
It's almost unfathomable that you'd do it.
If you're going to do it, put your hands in the air, not out sideways, to show the umpire.
And Goose looking for a free. He won't get that, but he will get a victory. So history here for the Sydney Swans. They become the first team to win on international soil for premiership points. And those 4 points belong to the Swans. It was a hard battle. They really had to earn it, the Swans, and earn it they did. Footy has come to Wellington, and the Sydney Swans have prevailed 11-13-79 to 9-9-63.